The Cali76 compact bass pedal. My favorite compressor by far. I was just introduced to this very recently, and I have to say I'm just blown away by it. It really has the character of one of those great 1176 compressors that we love, the ones by Uri and other companies that have been replicating it since, but it's in a take-it-with-you package, which is built like a tank. The Cali76 compact bass has some really wonderful features for bass guitar players and really useful stuff. The kind of stuff that you can do in a studio, but now you can do it all in one pedal and take it with you to the gig. Runs on 18 volts or 9 volts. You have to use a power supply. It doesn't have enough room in there for a battery, which is just fine by me. Usually I keep it parked by my amplifier on stage, and that works very well. Okay, so let's get a taste of what this thing can do. Okay, first of all, I'm just going to let you hear what my wind bass sounds like all by itself, just running through the signal path, not doing anything. All right, so that's that. Let's click it in now. I've already kind of preset this up in a way. I've got the dry control all the way off. Dry control is a great asset. I'll tell you about that in a minute. The output control is almost all the way up. The input control is just enough to kind of actuate the compressor itself. And the ratio is set at its lowest setting. The attenuation and the release is set right in the middle. So it's not particularly a fast attack. It's not particularly a slow attack. It's not particularly a long release or a short release. Somewhere right in the middle. So that should work out fine. We're not touching the high-pass filter just yet. Let's listen to it now. First, one more time, I'll just play my bass without it. All right, now we'll kick it in. Keep an eye on the light. That'll let you know what's working. You'll see it goes to various shades of orange as it kicks in. Now that's at a very low setting. There's not very much going on there. As a matter of fact, you can see it just kind of pushes the note down and lets go of it, which is great because it's evening out the attacks. So what's happening is the bass guitar volume is coming up on the initial attacks where it's strongest, and then as soon as it goes past that attack, it just kind of falls back to where it was. So the unit's actually keeping it down. Now if I push that really hard just to demonstrate, you can hear what it actually does when we abuse it, and here we go. And there we go, you can hear all that compression now. Okay, so that's pretty obvious sounding compression. With a couple of tricks that they tucked into this unit, you can really do that and still maintain the basic sound of your bass guitar. So you have the sound of your bass guitar along with the compressor, either forward or back of the signal. So let's explore some of that. I'm going to move the ratio up a bit, bring the input down, move the attack to a faster attack and a slower release, so it just hits it right away. And you can see what's happening here is it's really hitting it pretty hard, and that's a pretty good ratio right there. So now we're getting this nice sustain. I can even bring the output up a little bit. But we are losing the character of the bass. We're losing the attack and that punch that the bass has without it. Let's hear that. All right, you can kind of hear the way it pulls in and out. If I put it back in, it just kind of keeps pushing it down, but we do have this lovely sustain. So we have two things that we can do to kind of bring that up just a little bit. First, I'll demonstrate the high-pass filter. Before the compressor circuit detects the notes coming in, it'll peel off some of that low frequency, which means that the detector built into there won't really hear that right away, and so it won't clamp down on the note right away. It'll actually wait and hear the mid-ranges, and that's what it will actually work on. So that means that as we bring it up a little bit, let's put it back down, kind of opens it up a little bit. We get a little more bass out of there. And by having that now, actually let's go up there. Right. By having that, we can bring the input up a little bit more. Okay, now I like the way the compressor is kicking in a little bit better. The next trick is the dry mix. So I can actually bring in the sound of the bass guitar and put it right next to the compressor, or push it in front of the compressor, depending on how much of it I add. Usually I find myself bringing it up just either slightly under or slightly over. That's about halfway, so now we're about halfway bass, halfway compressor. Let's see how that works.